Hello and welcome back. Oh, I have a pile of parts. I have the new Axial AX24, and I've owned it for like, I don't know, something like 18 hours now or something. So it's time to upgrade it. And these things, to me, SCX24s are like Pokemon. I just have to collect them all. I look forward to every release, and I have so much fun with these little rigs, it's just crazy. But underneath there, you can see what we have going on. Pull the battery out here. I do like where they've put the battery holder on this one. That mid-chassis buckle over, that's pretty nice. And it's a completely different chassis design with the same basic SCX24 parts. So it does make mods really easy to do. I was able to anticipate this and order everything I wanted beforehand. Some of the things that I really wish they would have done is always the servos. The servo savers drive me crazy. But tires, these are really cool tires. They've got a really nice grippy feel to them. They work really well, but they always glue them on the wheels. They need to splurge for some plastic bead locks. That way we can take these tires off a little easier. I am probably going to try to remove these at a later date and try to mount them up with something else with some foam, because I do believe they will be an excellent tire. I mean, they really grab. But onward to our upgrades. So, I have a set of Enduro wheels. I just went nuts. I got everything I thought I'd want. Get a good look at those. Those are really nice. I think those are going to work out really well. And they've got looks like a really, really decent negative offset. So they should stick out quite a bit further. Speaking of sticking out quite a bit further, I've also got some 4mm brass extensions. The brass differential covers. Got 2 of those. Got the brass front steering knuckles, the hubs. Brass steering links for the front. A nice 12-gram metal geared servo with mount. And I've got these Enduro 43mm shocks. I think they're really close to the same size as those. I'm probably going to end up putting these on just because they're a higher quality shock. Because you could, I mean, boing, boing. And then I got these. These are their pinspike tires. These are a little bit different set than the previous set of pinspike tires I was running. Get these cut open. I can never get those Ziploc bags open. I just have to end up cutting them. These are a 55 by 20mm tire, and they are nice and sticky. Pull the foam out here so you can see for yourself. All right, we got to do a crush it up in the ball test. And that is what I am talking about. Oh, they are just a tiny bit smaller, but that is also going to help combat some of the high center of gravity this thing has. It does set a little on the high side. It does flip over a little on the easy side. So adding some weight down low is really going to help. Taking the tire down, I mean, it's not much of a difference. It's only going to drop it by a couple millimeters. And these are actually quite a bit softer than the ones that are currently on it. I think they will do really well. We'll have to test them and see. And, of course, with the rear servo, I didn't buy a second servo because I wanted to try gluing the saver on this one. I have had success doing that before in the past. If it turns out to be an issue, I'll end up just putting a bigger servo in it. But I am going to actually... Yeah, a little bit different mounting pan than the old SCX24s, but... So putting the bigger servo on there might be a little bit different of a challenge. I'll have to look and see, because the way that is set up, that might be difficult to mount on that mount. Well, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But I'm going to start getting these out, and I'm just going to take some build pictures and put them together in a nice montage, and we'll go from there. So we are back, and all the mods are complete. Got the front end, got the rear end, got our crazy crab walk. And I did a few things that I hadn't initially planned on. One of the things I wanted to try was the Injora shocks, and they mounted up fine. That wasn't the problem, but these double-barreled shocks, the way these compress, it binds these up. So when you go to the side, it'll just stay locked down there just because of the angle. It pushes it sideways so much it just bends those shocks out of shape. I probably could have redone a mounting option for that, but I'm going to go ahead and just run these stock shocks for now. And in order to put the servos in, these are just the stock mountings. That's all it is. Let me set that there, and I'll zoom in for you. Prepare for a volume change. So you can see where those mount, there is a small gap. But it didn't hurt anything. When they released the SCX24 for the first time, I picked up one of those, and I did the same thing because they didn't have the new servo mount option. So these are a little bit deeper than the servos that come on it. So they stick out maybe, I don't know, 1/8 of an inch or so. It doesn't really affect anything. It doesn't bind anything. They mount down. They're nice and secure. And since I did that and I didn't have to have a different mount for it, I went ahead and found an Emax servo that I would normally run in my airplanes. And these are, I think this one's around a 12-gram all-metal geared servo. So it was a really, really easy thing just to bolt on there. And it works great. This thing just crab walks all over the place. And I really like all of the brass, especially this brass steering link in the front. That is really nice. It bolts together nice. It looks great. And I really think they did a good job with this. And, you know, for your controller, it's really simple. The middle position is your normal drive. If you want 4-wheel, you hit down, hit back up for normal, hit up one more time, and you got crab walk. Which I've never really had a use for, but it is amusing to watch drive around. And these are all the parts we replaced. Now, my only gripe during this whole build process was the stock Axial hardware. Normally, it comes out no problems, but I had 4 of their little bolts stripped immediately. So the first one was down here on the front, and it was stripped out. And I mean, it was stripped out to the point where I couldn't even put a larger wrench in. It was completely round. and it just came that way. So in order to get that out, I use my plastic snips, and I go to the inside of the bolt hole and to the outside and twist. It's really painstaking, long process, but I got it done. And then I had 3 on the back. One here, and both the top ones were stripped. So I had to get the next size up wrench and force it in. I was able to get those out, thankfully, without having to use the pliers. But let's get the body on this thing, get it out, run it on the backyard course, see how it does compared to how it did last time I had it on it when it was just stock. So I will see you out there. All right, we're out here and ready to go. Notice it does need a bit more power. That kind of reminds me of the version 1, how jerky it is. The version 1 XC-1 electronics. The version 2 is so much nicer. Yeah, this thing has so much potential. It really would have been nice if they did just a little bit smoother on the electronics, though. You have to squeeze on us probably a 1/4 inch or so before it really starts taking off. But that 4-wheel steering sure is really nice on this tight course. Okay, when we tried this before, it was snow covered and we couldn't make it up it. No problem this time. Yeah, kind of jerky. That 4-wheel steering is definitely nice for lining it up on these tight corners. Alright, we're on Car Killer. Kind of a strange angle, but I want to be this side to catch it in case things go awry. Okay. That did just fine. Let's go back up it, and I'll see if I can get a good side angle of that. I did 3 wheels all the way up last time. Well, I'd say the weight is helping definitely. Nice and slowing up. Alright everybody, I think that's going to wrap up the mod section of this. It did pretty daggone good. If I could just get a little bit better modulation on that low end so it's not so jerky, this thing would be perfect. But these are all things that can be addressed. Thanks for watching everybody. If you enjoyed this and thought it was helpful, hit that thumbs up for me. I greatly appreciate it. I will list as many of these parts as I can, which is probably most of them, in the description. If you want to order these parts, I'll have links for them. But thanks for watching. This is definitely a much better setup than it was previously. Have a great day, and I'll catch you on the next one.